Hi guys, welcome back to another video, and today we'll be taking a look at a highly requested tutorial in Fusion 360, which is an introduction to forms and sculpting. Now this is a very advanced topic and there's a lot more involved as opposed to regular kind of sketching and extruding in Fusion, but I'm going to try and break it down into multiple videos and we're going to start with the real basics and kind of work our way up from there. So I hope you enjoy and let's get into it. So here we are in Fusion, we've got our standard workspace, and this is kind of what everyone's used to, right? You've got your sketching, extruding, revolving, fillets, that kind of stuff. Most people are familiar with this, and this is widely covered on the likes of YouTube and other course platforms. If you are completely new to Fusion 360, I recommend you learn the more basic stuff first, which I do have a course for available on my website. However, you can still attempt to get into this, but it is a little more involved than typical modeling. So first things first then, how do we get into the sculpt environment and where is it? So in Fusion, you're probably used to working here, and we're in the design workspace as always. Under the solid tab, you'll see this little icon here that says create form, and we're going to click on that. And what that'll do is it'll take you into a different workspace. You can see here we've just got so many new tools available to us, and it can kind of be a lot to take in if you've never seen any of this stuff before. But as I said, we're going to start simple, get you familiar with the environment, how to manipulate shapes, and then in future videos I'll, start designing things and you can follow along. So let's have a go. First thing we're going to do is just create a simple box, and we can do that up here. There's a tool available for us just called box. So we're going to click on that, and then it's going to ask us what plane we want to place it on. I'm just going to select the floor plane here, and then you're going to have to draw out where you want the box to be. So I'm just going to use the center point as a reference, and I'm going to make this box 100mm by 100mm. Once you're done, hit enter. And as you can see, we've got this new shape, and it doesn't quite look like what you'd expect from the other CAD workspace, and that's because the sculpting workspace works in a slightly different way, and I'm going to explain that for you. So the sculpting workspace is all about smooth curves, right? That's how it works. It's working with splines, and we have different properties and features here, which I'm going to get into, that you can manipulate to create these really cool, clean, smooth looking shapes. And no matter what you do or how you manipulate each of these features, this workspace is always going to try and create the smoothest transition between the different edges, faces and vertices. We've obviously created a box here, but you can create other shapes too, there's spheres, cylinders, that kind of stuff. So as I said, there are different features on this model that we can manipulate, and just to cover some of the terminology you'd find in sort of 3D modeling, basically we've got faces, edges and vertices. Faces are obviously these large surfaces on the outside of the object. The edges obviously are the edges of any face, so we've got the edges around here. And the vertices will be the points where the edges meet, right? So we've got a vertice there, and you'll see a vertice because it'll be a little dot on the model. And as I said, you'll find these all over the model where the edges meet up, and again you can select them by clicking on them. As I said, all of these different features can be manipulated to create whatever shape we want. So let's go ahead and try to do that. Remember, this is basic stuff, but in order to create something more advanced, you really have to understand what's going on at this basic level. So as I showed you briefly there, you can select faces just by clicking on them. You can also select multiple faces by holding Control and continuing to click. And you can select as many as you want. This is also true for the edges. So if we click on the edges and hit Control, we can select the desired edges that we want. But also if we wanted to select the entire edge, if we double click, you'll see that will automatically select the entire edge around the entire object. This is also true for the faces as well. If you double click on a face, it'll select the entire object. Same applies to the vertices. If we want to select multiple vertices, you can click, hold Control and just continue to click. And as you can see, it's selecting them for us. So now that we know how to select different features on the model, let's talk a little bit about how we can use some freeform modifying to change the shape of this object. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to select the entire outer edge here. So I'm going to double click, and you can see I've got that outer edge selected. Now if we go up to the toolbar and click Modify, remember I said we've got so many different tools in there, right? And we're only going to cover one or two of them in this video. But if we go to Edit Form, what you'll see is a whole bunch of controls pop up in the middle here, and we can use this to move and manipulate this model however we want. So if I just click this little drag arrow here, which is essentially an extrude, we can just manipulate this object in any direction we want. And I'm just going to Control Z this here and show you can do it in other directions. And it just sort of shows you how much control you have over this object. And again, if we pull it straight up and keep going, you can see we've kind of created this sort of caved bowl shape pretty much immediately, right, without doing too much work. And I'm going to Control Z again and show you some of the others. So we've also got these rotation controls. So if we click one of those and just start rotating, you can see we get this kind of twist method. As I said before, you can really see here in the Sculpt workspace what it's trying to do, right? It's just trying to do its best to join up all these different splines and edges and create the smoothest sort of transition between them as it possibly can, which is why you get these sort of smooth curves, and you'll typically not see many harsh edges in this workspace. You can see if we keep twisting, we can get some really sort of wacky shapes, and these can be fun things to 3D print as well. You know, if you're doing sort of vase mode stuff, it's pretty fun to play around with. So again, I'm going to Control Z it and go back. You've also got a few others in here, like scale. So if I select, you can see they're kind of hard to see, but there's a sort of edge one that looks a bit like the fillet symbol. You can click that and you can modify that, so you can scale that entire edge outward or inward. And the same goes as well for some of the other faces. You can drag it across at an angle and kind of get this weird shape again. Now what you'll notice when you're playing around with this is that sometimes it's not always going to do what you think it would do, and that's what you really need to get used to when working in this workspace. It requires a lot of practice. I've been playing around with it for a while now, and it's just about learning sort of what tools to use and when. Playing around with it is a great way to just figure things out, figure out the workspace, and then you can start thinking about the order in which to do things and best practices and that kind of thing. So that's kind of modifying the edges. If we click on a face here, we get the same controls, right? So we can drag this up and we can drag up the one side of the face, and you can see it's raised that one side of the object and try to maintain that smoothness as it does it. So again, if we go back, we can do the same with vertices. So you get the same controls depending on whichever feature you want to manipulate. So again, the vertice, we can pull that straight up and get a kind of dome shape in the middle. And again, if I just hit OK, I can select a different one, come up to modify, and again we can pull that out. As you can see as well, you know, it just kind of freely molds and moves as you play with the object. As I said, just have a play around with that, get used to the tools, what they do, how you can use them, and you'll find it useful then when we get to later videos and we're actually using them in a practical way. So as you saw there, it's cool that we can modify this object to create whatever shapes we want, but you might notice that we're very limited here with the number of faces and the number of edges that we've got, which massively reduces the resolution of the model and the detail that we'll be able to add. So now what I'll do is I'll show you how you can increase that resolution so that you can make more advanced detailed changes that will result in better models. So what we're going to do is going to go ahead and finish this form, and we're going to go and create a new one. So back up here we've got create form, and once again we're going to place a box. So let's grab the box, select the plane that we want to place it on, which is the floor plane. I'm just going to draw a box out here next to this one. So I'm going to make this again 100mm by 100mm. If we just click, what that'll do is it'll create that shape for us, but now it's given us a few more options. So we can define the height of it straight away. So if we want to increase the height, we can just pull this up and make it more of a cube shape. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to pull it up 100mm so that we get this cube. And also you'll see these other icons which have an up and down arrow. And if we click and drag that up, what you'll see is it adds some more faces in there for us. More faces, more edges, more vertices, everything. So what that's doing effectively is increasing the resolution of our model, meaning we can make more detailed changes to it. Now what I'll say with this is you don't want to go too crazy with it. You know, you wouldn't want to add, say, 50 or 100 of these in, mainly because it's probably going to crash your computer, and the model's just going to be too complex, way more complex than it needs to be. So what I'd say is start with maybe 10 as a starting point. But as you can see, as we add these on both axes, this is starting to look actually a lot more like a cube and a lot less like that kind of rounded box I've had before. And just to show you, if we do increase that again, you can see the edges are getting slightly harsher here, but it does still maintain that curve as I talked about before, that's what it's always trying to do, is transition a nice smooth curve over edges. So we're going to just set that at 10 on both axes and hit OK. If we click Finish Form, you can see what we've got here now. So we've just created these two shapes. We went about it the exact same way. The only difference is that we added a lot more detail to this model, which means we can then go and change it and add even more detail changes to it. So again, if we go back into that, come and modify the form at the bottom on the timeline. So double click, we're straight back in here. And now we can again select and modify these however we want. So if we double click, if we hold Control and double click again, we can select multiple edges all the way around, right? And if we go to Modify, Edit Form, we get those exact same controls, and we can pull these out and modify them in any way we want. But I just wanted to show you that so that if you start playing around with this and you're unable to achieve some of the things that you want to achieve in this basic model that I showed you, such as adding more detail, you can do that by adding those in when you create the model, but you can also do it later on as well, after you've created the model, which is what I'll show you now. So if we go back to our first form here, we'll double click. You'll see that we've got what we created very early on, which is this really simple model that's very curved. So if we wanted to add more of these edges in after the fact, after we've created it, what you can do is double click on those edges to select the entire outer edge. If we go to Modify, we can use this tool here, which is Insert Edge. So if we click on that, you'll see that it'll have created one for us. But what you can also do is change this to double. So if you wanted to add one each side, you could change this on the menu here to both. And you can see what it'll do there. Now watch what happens when we hit OK. You can see that it modified that for us straight away. And we've got less of that curvature now on the outside edges because there are more faces and it's not having to sort of do as much work to join them up, if that makes sense. So again, we can do that on both axes. So if we wanted to do it here too, we can double click, Modify, Insert Edge. We've got both selected, hit OK, and it's done the exact same thing for us. And again, at this point, you can go in, make changes, do all those manipulations that I showed you before. In the same way that you can add these edges, you can also delete them too. So if you double click and you want to get rid of an edge, you can just hit delete and it disappears. So it's really easy to add those in afterwards and also remove them based on what you're trying to create. And you'll find yourself doing that a lot as you try to create the desired curve or the shape that you want. And it's just really cool that Fusion have made that so easy here. So I'll do the same to the other one as well. I'll double click, hit delete on the keyboard, and there we go. You can also do a similar thing with the faces as well. So if we select this top face here, come up to Modify, I'm going to click Subdivide. And what that'll do is it'll turn that one face that we selected into 4 new faces. And just like before, we can select these, Modify, Edit Form, and we can manipulate them to create some really cool shapes. So the final thing I'm going to show you here is something kind of important to know when translating back to the regular workspace. So if we hit Finish Form, you can see now we're back in regular Fusion 360 where we've got our extrude, revolve, all those kind of controls. If we click the bodies drop down here, you can see what we've got is 2 solid bodies. And if we go to Inspect and Section Analysis, we'll select this plane here to do the analysis, hit OK. You can see that this is clearly a solid object, right? Because we've got this sort of horizontal mesh pattern in the middle, which implies a solid object. If we hide the analysis now by clicking that little icon next to the folder up here, what we'll do is create a new form again, and this time we're going to create a cylinder. So I'm going to create that, select the plane that we want to place it on, and I'm just going to roughly put it on the edge here. And again, I'm going to make that 100 mil. I'm going to click, and just like before, we have the option to manipulate the height of this. So I'm going to make it 100 mil high, and again, if we wanted to add more of those sections in, we can just use this tool and manipulate that however we want. So I'm going to make that 10 as well and hit OK. Now if we just click Finish Form here, you can see that the form we just created looks a little bit different to the others, right? It's not a solid object. And that's implied here as well in the bodies folder. So you can see the other two have these white icons next to them, which means it's a solid body. This one does not have that icon. It has a little orange icon, which means we need to make a few changes to that if we want to turn it into a solid body. So again, if I enable the section analysis here, again that just clarifies what we already know. It's a hollow object, not a solid body. So let's change that. So we're going to disable section analysis, and if we come back to that form workspace we were in, so down on the timeline, double click the last one. What we need to do effectively in order to turn this into a solid object is close it up. So as you can see, it's open, we can see straight through it. It's not a solid object. We can easily fix that. So if we go and select the top edge here by double clicking, you can see it selects the entire edge. Come to modify, and what we should be able to do is click on fill hole, and you'll see that'll cover that hole up for us. Now by default, as I said, it tries to maintain the curves. So what it's done is it's used a sort of curvature here to cover the top up. If you want it to be flat, you can keep that by checking this box here, maintain crease edges, and that'll give you a nice flat surface. I actually like the other one, so I'm going to leave it at that, and I'm going to hit OK. But again, we're going to do the same thing at the bottom. We're just going to double click the bottom edge, come up to modify, we're going to go to fill hole, same again, just hit OK. And now if we hit finish form, notice our bodies folder here now has 3 solid objects, and if we enable the section analysis, you can see that's now true for all 3 forms, which is awesome. And just to sort of show you that we are indeed just back in the regular workspace, we can go ahead and modify these again. So if we create a sketch, I'm just going to sketch on this object on the bottom plane. You know, you can go ahead now and use Fusion like you normally would. So I'm just going to put a 50mm hole here, and I'm going to extrude it. So I'm going to extrude to object, hit OK, and there we go. We've now modified our form in the normal way that we would when we create our regular models. So that's where I'm going to leave this video. As I said, you've got to start with the basics, so just have a play around with it, and more importantly, get familiar with the Forms environment and the tools available to you. If you appreciate these videos and you want to support me directly, head over to the website and become a member. There's lots of cool benefits, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something, and I'll see you in the next video.